In the next sessions, we're going to nail down venues. We're going to look at venues. This is a fun part. There's all sorts of platforms out there to sell. So now we're going to look at these platforms and the basic liabilities and assets of each one, and so that you can kind of help make your decision on which one do I want to use, one or more than one, and if I'm going to use that, here's what's critical to make it work. So the first one I want to look at is the on-farm store. We're in a terrible location. We don't live near a big city. We live on a dirt road. But the beautiful part about that is, yes, we're not out on a main drag, but we can become a destination place. How do you develop, how do you accelerate or facilitate the on-farm store? Here are principles I think that are really critical. One is consistent hours. How many times have you ever been to a business that has inconsistent hours, and you're there and, well, we're open, Monday from 1 to 5, we're open Tuesday 8 to 12. I mean, you can't keep all that stuff in your head. So if you're going to have a on-farm store, you've got to have consistent hours. Next, a well-designated location. Again, we live here, okay? Your on-farm store, you live there. When you say, well, just go around the shed there and come around this way, to you, it's really, really simple. To somebody from the city, when you say go around the shed, you might as well tell them to go around Pluto, okay? And we've had people back in the early years before I learned all of these things that I'm sharing with you. We had people, go around there. Next thing you know, they're knocking on the door and they're mired up to the axle down in a mud hole out at the barn somewhere. How did you get out? Well, you said, no. Folks, you cannot imagine how creative people can be at getting lost on your little farm, okay? Which means you need clear signage to get to it. When people come in, here's the thing. So you need clear signage getting to it when you're at the farm, okay? Arrows pointing turn right, arrows pointing turn left or whatever. Parking area, all right? All that signage has to be really clear because people get lost. But you have to have clear signage at the farm entrance too. They're driving down the road, and they're watching, and maybe they're following their GPS, or maybe GPS doesn't work right there. And you need a nice big, farm sign to show clearly this is the place, just like Lowe's has one and Walmart has one and Burger King has one, okay? It doesn't have to be that big maybe, but it does need to be clear. Because let me tell you, when people come out of the city and they get out in the country and there's cows and trees and fields and barns around, they start getting real jittery. The way you and I as farmers, the way we get jittery when we get on an expressway in a great big city and we say, man, oh man, get me out of here. This is not my cup of tea. It's kind of foreign to me, at least that's the way I am. I can't get off the, Washington, D.C. Beltway fast enough, okay? I have to go on it once in a while, but man, I don't like it. That's the way they feel when they come out to the country. So designate it very clearly where the farm store is, how to get there. So when they come, here's the point. When they come, immediately, they're not stressed. There's no tension. They come, okay, this is the place. That's what you want them to be saying when they arrive at your farm. There's no stress. One of the big issues on a farm store is the liabilities is a high personnel cost. Who is going to be there running a cash register? And that's why if you're a small outfit, you very possibly, like we're not open all the time. We're open only in the summer. We're open from, I think, March 1st through basically Christmas. On weekdays, just 9 to 12. We're not open all day, but it's 9 to 12 every day. And it's 9 to 12 all the time. It's not 9 to 11 one day, 9 to 10 one, it's 9 to 12 every single day, except Saturday. Every Saturday, it's 9 to 4. Here's the point I'm making. That personnel cost of being out there and running the cash register handling customers. Because remember, your on-farm store, this is both a negative and a positive. The negative is that every sale takes a lot of time or can take a lot more time because everybody wants to chat. They want to talk. Hey, how's things going? How are the chickens doing? How are the little tomato seedlings in the greenhouse, how are they growing, and maybe they want to look around. They want to see things. Okay. A lot of times that store interaction, that on-farm store can be pretty time consuming to, be congenial and hospitable and happy with each of your customers. That's the negative part. The positive part is they're making a connection. Again, this is something engaging with you or one of your people, a part of your team, related or unrelated, but engaging directly with the farm, at the source of provenance. That's special. That's really, really special. That's why you want to have hours that are commensurate with your sales. If you're going to be open, you want a busy cash register. You don't want to be open for 5 hours and have the cash register running only, one of those hours. So when you're starting out, I suggest that you just be open on one day a week or one evening a week, a couple hours. And then as it builds, you can add, and you'll know, believe me, you'll know when you got to add more hours, more days, more times, but be consistent with them every single time. And then another aspect is something for the children to do, child entertainment. As I mentioned in one of the other episodes, we talked about the playground we've installed here. And what we've found over the years is if you can get those children building memories and building excitement and giving those children entertainment. For example, one of the neatest things we do in the wintertime when all the laying chickens are in the hoop houses, which are very near the sales building, a lot of times kids want to go and gather eggs. Well, you can't gather eggs at Kroger's. Remember, differentiation, specialness, memory, okay? So we give a child a carton of eggs. Yeah, you can go out there and gather eggs. My goodness, there are a few things that are exciting to a child as reaching in a nest box and gathering eggs. And then finally, farm location, where you're located, certainly does make a difference. And if you're on a main drag, good for you. But a lot of our farms are not on a main drag, and so we have to think about how we can make it a destination location instead of just a place that can pull cars off the road. That said, there is a case to be made for actually locating near a market. If you'll recall, way back at the beginning of this whole Farm Like a Lunatic series, we were talking about location, where to locate your farm. I'm sure I said I would rather have 10 acres next to a metropolitan area than 500 acres 100 miles away from a Coke machine. Again, I'm not interested in buying Coke, but I'm just trying to explain the difference. So think about that as you consider what you can do where you are. The on-farm store is a great place to start. It's a great venue. It's where we started, and I still highly recommend it. It's got to be people-centric, consistent hours. You got to have good signage to get them there. Hopefully some things that children can do and enjoy, and then just consider your location as to whether you need to do something extra to build up your destination, or if you can capture the traffic that's already coming nearby by your front door. The on-farm store is a great venue to start.